Now, speaking of the Lakers,
Honestly,
well,
yeah,
our Lakers made some moves too.
yeah,
Made a very quality move.
a very huge move. Yeah,
What do you think
like you
about that
said,
move?
Marcus Smart, man. Wait. Let me just clarify. He was on that champion team with the Celtics, right?
No, they traded before. They
Oh,
traded
they're
him
in
out. He was
trade.
out.
Okay,
No,
so
he wasn't on the.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
he was
Okay,
already out,
okay,
and because yeah,
okay.
he wasn't. It wasn't a
The
champion
thing
team. No.
with the thing with Marcus Smart is he's a he's a pretty good defender.
Yeah, he's a defensive player of
He's
the year.
defensive player of the year. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's DPOY.
right.
And
And
we have that. Finally, we have that. We kind of have that tough, that tough guy that's on the team right now. Because I know Marcus Smart. I remember him a lot from his Celtic days. The antics, getting into people's skin.
yep.
We kind of need that guy.
Yeah, the Lakers don't have a dog right now.
We don't
That's
have a dog,
they
yeah.
lost that dog. I mean,
Yeah.
the last one was DFS to some
Yeah,
extent,
some
but
extent. Yeah.
but I agree. I think this Lakers team didn't have this kind of defensive dog presence in him since Alex Caruso was on the team,
Yeah.
right? And this is actually pretty funny because Marcus Smart was almost drafted by the Lakers. I don't know if you remember that. So it was in the 2014 draft, and Marcus Smart eventually went sixth to the Celtics,
Right.
and the Lakers eventually got Julius in that deal. But
Yeah.
I remember reading a lot of stuff when if Marcus Smart was available at that seventh pick, then the Lakers would have 100% picked him,
We've gotten him.
and
yeah.
he would have been a great. I think Kobe would have mentored him very well if
Oh,
that
yeah.
was the case. But better late than never. That was
Yeah.
11 years ago.
Right.
Marcus Smart finally on the Lakers. What do we think about this fit? And you mentioned from a defensive point of view. What is this going to do from an overall rotation point of view? Now, we got to ask that question, right? We got to ask this question.
Yeah.
Is Marcus Smart going to be starting on this team?
Good question. Um. So you got Aiton, you got Rui, LeBron.
So,
So
I think-
the question is, it's either Austin Reeves or Marcus Smart.
yeah, so the lock is basically Luka is obviously a lock to start. LeBron is obviously a lock to start. Aiton, those three guys are going to
Yeah.
be starting for sure. The question becomes now, what are you going to do with Rui? Rui and Austin are definitely going to be your candidates here if you're
Right.
going to bench someone,
Forget to play someone six man. Yeah.
right? So who's going to take that? Who's going to take that 6-man slot in this case? If Marcus Smart is going to be starting, because I think he should start.
Oh yeah.
I think Marcus Smart should be starting.
Yeah. Ooh.
Who do you think to be someone who's going to be coming off the bench here? You think it's Austin?
I think it's Rui.
You think it's Rui?
I think it's Rui because LeBron can play the power forward and Austin put him in the small forward position. Make him that third scoring option, which we need. And then you have Marcus Smart who'll dog people on defense, and you have Aiton who's that presence. So I think that might work. That's a scenario. That's scenario number one. Austin's the starter. This is what's gonna happen. Now, okay, let's do a hypothetical. Scenario number two. Let's say Austin's off the bench and Rui's the starter. What do you think happens?
Well, if that's going to happen, I'm actually if I were to lean towards a scenario, I'm leaning towards Austin coming off the bench because
Coming off the bench,
the fact that
Uh-huh.
one of the things that Lakers have been missing these last couple of years is that they haven't had a decent level of production off the bench. It's always been the team has always been top heavy, yeah. Because you got LeBron in there, you got Luka in there, and the best thing for JJ to do, and I hope he does it, is that you always have to have either one of LeBron or Luka on the floor at all times. You have to stagger their
At all
minutes to
times,
some
yeah,
extent,
yeah.
right? Because
Right.
those two are gonna be your playmakers. Austin is a very intriguing case because he's also a playmaker to some extent. He's also a
Yeah.
scorer to some extent. He's horrible defensively, and that's why you don't want to start him with Luka because that's how they get eaten up alive with teams because they just can't sustain the defensive effort and the offense to just keep good offensive teams off their backs, really.
Right.
So the best scenario here, and I don't know how possible this is, we have to consider the fact that both Rui and Austin are contract years right now.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that has to be managed. But from a fit perspective, if we're just thinking about basketball and not the contracts,
Yeah.
I think the best way to move forward for the Lakers is to have Austin coming off the bench as the sixth man. He's gonna be the one. LeBron usually comes out, I believe, in the 6 minutes after.
Right. Mm-hmm.
He plays 6 minutes, comes out, and he comes back with maybe 1 or 2 minutes left in the quarter. That's how they did it last year, and
Right.
I don't see a reason why you should change that. If that's the case, then you have Austin coming in at the 6th minute of that quarter, and
Right.
he's gonna have free reign with regards to the offense, right?
Right.
He can just run that with Luka.
A spark plug. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what you want. You want in the out
Gotcha.
of Austin right there. So
Right.
you want to have Austin and Luka play for a couple of minutes, then LeBron comes back in, and him and Austin can share the playmaking playmaking roles.
Right.
The thing though is I don't know how Austin will take that, especially the fact
Yeah.
that he's angling for a big contract right now.
Right.
Because we know that the Lakers are prioritizing cap space for the next 2 years because they want to go big game hunting.
Yeah.
Really, you got Jokic potentially in there. You got Giannis potentially in there. They want to have the cap space and they want to have the assets to be able to snag a big free agent in the
Right.
next coming years. So
Yeah.
if you're Austin, would you even want to do that? Is that something that you want to do? Are you going to be thinking about yourself? Because
Good. Yeah.
right? Because there's
Good
been
question.
right?
Yeah.
Because he's talked that he wanted to stay in LA and all that
Yeah.
stuff, but
Yeah.
it's business. At the end of the day, we understand that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a question, like, I was just watching, it's funny, I was just watching, you mentioned Doc Rivers earlier, I was just watching last night I was watching the last 2 episodes of the Celtic documentary on Max, Celtic City, and this was 07 when they first got the big three, KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. The first thing that he asked the three when he met with them was, what are you willing to sacrifice? And I think if we really want to bring a championship to LA, JJ has to ask this question from his top players. What are you guys willing to give up? Because Austin coming off and you do make a great point that that him coming off the bench is a good spark plug, that'll bring us some energy, but we're really looking for a championship, and I know Luka wants a championship, LeBron wants a championship, so if Austin's willing to make that transition into a role player and willing to give up, he's still gonna get his points, but that gives us a bigger possibility of getting this chemistry thing, getting this sorted out, and and if it gives us the biggest possibility of contending for a championship, then we got to ask this question.
From a closing lineup perspective, I think the best closing lineup the Lakers can put out is obviously definitely Luka, Smart. You got Austin in there, LeBron and Ayton. That's probably the best closing lineup you're gonna put out there.
Yeah.
So I agree. If they can somehow convince Austin to come off the bench, this is gonna be the play. He's still gonna get the minutes that he's essentially gonna get the same kind of treatment that DFS had last year, when DFS wasn't starting, but he's the first guy off the bench.
Yeah.
And he gets to close out games, and I think Austin should be closing out games.
Oh yeah.
Let's not mistake that, right? But from a starter's point of view, you have to start with some defense.
Right.
And you essentially got one of the best defensive players, if healthy. Okay, this is another question mark with Marcus Smart. He's only played, I believe, 50-something games in the last 2 seasons, which is pretty bad. He's been really injured.
Injured, yeah.
Boston, they did a good job dumping him before that happened.
Yeah.
So it's about if Marcus Smart is healthy, he's gonna be one of the best. He's probably gonna be the best defensive player on this team, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
So you have to start that. You have to set the tone at the start of the game that teams are gonna have trouble scoring on you.
Right.
Because that's how they're gonna win games when it's a grind. And we can see if LeBron feels that there's enough offense on the team, he's happy to play defense. And when LeBron is engaged on defense, right? And this is why we're not haters, bro. We don't hate LeBron.
No,
LeBron is a great defensive player when he's when he wants to be. Okay, so if this lineup, this closing lineup you have of Austin, Luka, and Aiden are gonna be your primary offensive players, and you got LeBron and Smart there playing defense, dude, that's gonna be a team that is very formidable in itself.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting how they navigate the starting lineup issue. I still really think that Austin should be coming off the bench, but we'll see.
Right. Yeah.
But the other big deal about the Lakers, and this is not okay. I just want to clarify that this is a rumor at this stage.
Right.
This is more of talk. This hasn't come from any. Well, at least I don't want to say reputable source because I don't know what this kind of source is.
Yeah.
Look, this source might be reputable. We don't know. I don't want to diss him like that. But the rumor is that so Luka is not permitted by the CBA to sign an extension until the 2nd of August, which is a week from now.
Right.
The rumor that is going around prior to this offseason is that Luka is going to sign what they call a 2+1 deal. Essentially, he's going to sign a 3-year deal with an opt-out after the 2nd year because he's about to become a 10-year vet in the league, and that entitles him to a level of raise that's going to be really big. So he essentially can earn around $75 million if he takes a 3-year deal and opts out on the 2nd year.
Right.
But from a team building perspective, that might not be the best thing for the Lakers because as we all saw, cap space is important. The use of the non-taxpayer mid-level exception is important, as we saw, because we lost Dorian Finney-Smith to that. We already talked about that a lot.
Right.
But the rumor is, and this is gonna make us smile. Really, this is gonna make you smile. It should be.
Yeah.
So the rumor is coming from a Slovenian newspaper or a Slovenian source that the deal is already set. Luka's not taking that 2+1 deal.
Right.
He's going to be taking a full 4-year deal. He's going to be taking the max deal that the Lakers can physically offer him under the CBA right now.
Yeah.
He's going to take a 4-year, $229 million deal to stay with the Lakers for the next 4 years. Now, what is the difference between what I just said and what Luka is potentially going to sign? As we mentioned, if Luka waits, he's going to earn about $75 million something dollars.
Right.
The reason, if Luka signs this 4-year deal max that he's rumored to sign, his average yearly salary is gonna be $57 million instead of 75.
75, yeah.
From a cap space, team building perspective, the Lakers are paying $18 million less per year.
Right.
For someone like Luka Doncic in his prime.
Yep.
That essentially took a similar deal that Jalen Brunson took for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Instead of following in the footsteps of one LeBron James, who just waits for contracts and just extends for the maximum that he could every time.
Right.
So, Luka essentially took a team-friendly deal. What does this mean? How is this going to impact the Lakers moving forward?
This does give us the room to to kind of sign more players to the free agent market, rather than him taking the 70-something million, the 2+1. That really kind of doesn't give us that cap space to as an asset to sign players. But this one, we're looking at 18 million less than what could be, a $75 million per year player, dude, we're getting a pretty good deal.
This is a bargain deal.
That's a bargain.
This is this is the kind of deal that we hope that LeBron would have taken
Right.
instead of opting in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Instead of opting into his deal, we kind of hope that LeBron would have taken a $15-16 million pay cut so they could have kept Dorian Finney-Smith
Right.
and still signed everyone they signed.
Right.
That's the kind of team-friendly deal that you want. And
Yeah.
I think that this is a welcome change of pace, number one. Okay? Because, again, we are as Laker fans, I'm sure I can speak on your behalf when I say this.
Uh-huh.
We are grateful to LeBron James for bringing
Yeah.
a championship to LA.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
That's fact.
Like I said, I will defend that bubble team for as long as I will, because that was a difficult championship to win.
I mean, it's kind of BS that people discredit it. Look, because
yeah,
just
absolutely.
because it's LeBron and the Lakers.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was someone else who won that, if it was Miami who won that, they would be saying that, oh, this is the toughest ring ever.
Yeah.
It's just context, really. I think it's discrediting championships is just a lost cause. There's no
Right.
point. You can only defeat what's in front of you,
Yeah.
right? There's no asterisk on rings. It is what it is. Right?
Yeah.
The fact you still have to win 4 games, and you still have to win a total of 16 games in the playoffs to win a championships, and that's what the Lakers did.
Right.
The context might have been different. The scenario might have been different.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to say, it's unprecedented, sure, but
Right.
you still had to win 16 games, and they did that. So
they did. Yeah.
you can't tell me nothing about that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, this is the type of superstar that the Lakers have been missing for
Right.
a long while. You want your superstars to not just play like superstars, number one,
Yep.
but you also want your superstars to work with the team
Exactly.
to put out the best
Yeah.
quality team that you can, really.
Right.
And this is what's missing from this era of LeBron.
Right.
I want to break it down a little bit, right? I don't want to pile on LeBron. I'm just gonna state facts here.
Right.
The reason why they didn't get Tyronn Lue to be the coach of the Lakers, I don't know if you remember, but LeBron James wouldn't commit. So LeBron signed a full 4-year deal with the Lakers. Okay,
Right.
great, but they wanted to get Tyronn Lue as his coach when they fired Luke Walton.
Right.
LeBron was in the second year of his 4-year deal. He wouldn't commit past that 4 years because that's how LeBron does business. Really,
Yeah.
he keeps you on your toes because he wants to keep all that leverage to force all the moves that he wants.
Right.
He wanted Ty Lue, but he wouldn't give the Lakers the time of day when they asked him what his plans were after that contract expires.
Right.
So the Lakers hedged their bets. They wanted Tyronn Lue to kind of sign for the same years that LeBron had. In that case, 3 years.
Yeah.
That's how that deal fell through. LeBron wanted DeMar DeRozan on the team,
Right.
right? And then the same situation. DeMar wanted more years, but the Lakers wouldn't commit for more years because LeBron wanted to dictate the terms. He wanted to keep all leverage. This is why we ended up with Westbrook,
Yeah.
right? The Lakers. The reason why the Lakers said yes to trading for Westbrook when LeBron forced it is because Westbrook was on an expiring deal for 2 years. He would essentially run the same time as LeBron. So essentially what the Lakers were doing is they were always on the back foot, preparing for the time when LeBron would either announce he's leaving or retire.
Right.
So LeBron's lack of transparency with regards to his career moves is the reason why we're here in the first place. Luka just made sure that that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Luka just said, you know what? I'm going to be here for 4 years, 6 years total after this. Let's try to win something.
Yeah.
Let's try to win championships. And he said that. I mean, he's very open about wanting to win championships in LA. And
Oh yeah.
I believe that he's backed that up. Now it's up
Yeah.
to the front office to put a team around Luka that could contend. And let's see what happens after LeBron leaves. I think that it's gonna be the Lakers are gonna be in a great position to move forward past LeBron whenever he decides to leave or retire. But the transparency that Luka and his team has with this team. If this 4-year deal is true, okay.
Yep.
Let's put that into perspective. We don't know if this is true, but if this is true, this is what we want.
The article. I do have the article. I did pull it up. I translated it from the Slovenian, and it does. Yeah, it does say that he's said to have agreed to a 4-year extension worth 229 million.
Yeah, and they can't announce it yet because
of course,
he really can't agree to a deal until the 2nd of August.
Right.
So this is kind of similar to free agent signings that have been been announced before they're actually even signed.
Yeah.
So because it is what it is, but let's see what happens next week if this turns out to be true.
Mm-hmm.
But if it is true, this is a welcome news for all the Laker fans.
Right.
And we finally have a superstar that wants to work with the Lakers.
And this superstar, with no rings yet, and he's hungry.
He's hungry.
He's
putting his money where his mouth is.
Yeah.
He's signing a team-friendly deal, and the pressure is on Rob Pelinka and the new ownership, and obviously Genie Bus, to put a team around this guy because he wants to be here. He wants to win. He's hungry.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of hunger, I kind of got bummed at this news. The Lakers had to cut Jordan Goodwin and Shake Milton to some extent because they had to free up some roster spots and some cap space in order to sign Marcus Smart. What do we think about losing Jordan Goodwin in this case?
Dude, Jordan Goodwin was so promising last year. He was a player that I really liked his game. Like this guy's he's chip on his shoulder. He got called up from the G League, and he has a talent. Like he's got game. He could play, and it's just sad that we're giving him up. And again, I don't want to hate on anyone, but we're giving him up a guy who deserves a roster spot. And we know the reason why we have to give him up because there's someone on the Lakers who we talked about him last week.
Say his name.
Bronny James Jr.
We gotta talk about Bronny.
We talked about it last week. We asked the question, we talked about his summer league performance last week. We talked about he's been tearing up summer league. And we asked that question, is it enough for him to have a guaranteed roster spot of the Lakers? And we kind of made it clear that no. Because summer league is summer league and the NBA is the NBA.
Yeah.
And we have Jordan Goodwin's numbers in the NBA to prove that he deserves that spot.
He definitely deserves a spot, right? This is a casualty of how LeBron and Clutch do business, right?
Yeah.
And I understand that he wants to play with the Sun, and I get where he's coming from, right? It's not a big deal. But the problem that we have with Bronny James here, and I'm not even gonna knock on him. This is not Bronny's fault at all.
No.
Right? He has no fault in all of this. The reason why this is happening is that Bronny James is on a contract that he shouldn't have to begin with. This is the problem. He's we're happy that he's recovered from whatever he had, the scare that he had in college.
Yeah, of course.
And but the thing is, he's not supposed to be on a guaranteed slot.
Yeah.
That's not how this works. He's a 55th pick. Okay, and let's not even talk about the pick because the Lakers would have gotten Bronny James regardless. Okay, this is not an issue of where he was picked.
Right.
The Lakers would 100% draft Bronny James regardless.
Yeah.
The problem that we have with this situation is the contract that they gave him. They essentially gave him a deal that allows him to be on the 15-man brand roster instead of a two-way.
Right.
Right. This is the problem that we have in this.
Yeah.
This is the only thing. If Bronny was on a two-way, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right.
Right. Because look, Bronny's always in the G League. He barely plays real NBA minutes, and he shouldn't.
Yeah.
So why do you have someone on the roster who you cannot trade, who you cannot waive, who you cannot play real minutes, and why is he taking up a roster spot? Why is he taking up cap space? We all know the reason. The only reason why is because of his dad and the leverage of his dad that his dad has over the team.
Right.
And we've lost. And I'm not saying that these players are great. I'm not saying that they're going to be effective. What I'm saying is that the Lakers were forced to waive these guys instead of getting assets back for him or packaging them in the trade. Jordan Goodman, they tried to trade him, but no one would take him because, number one, they all know how desperate the Lakers were to get rid of him, and because of what contract Jordan Goodwin had. So the wave was the only way to go. But what I'm saying is, if Ronnie James was in a two-way, they probably could have kept Jordan Goodwin too.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have had to waive him. So it is what it is. Look, I wish the best for Bronny James. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah.
But this is getting really old, and I'm just over this whole situation.
Yeah.
I really think he should still be on a two-way, but again, it's too late to have that now.
Yeah.
I still do think that he's probably going to be waived the moment his dad retires.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Bronny James ends up, and his brother too, if they end up in the NBA team that LeBron eventually purchases.